You're going to love this. I'm shooting this video now. It's the middle of winter here in 2014. There's tons of ice and snow outside. And now I want to share with you a story involving a woman who fell on black ice in a parking lot, suffered a massive femur fracture, and the property owner turns around and says, "It's all your fault. Don't blame me." Would you like to learn what this is about? Come join me as I share with you this remarkable story. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. We see a lot of slip and fall cases on snow and ice, especially in the wintertime. And this has been a very long winter, and it's freezing temperatures. So now, in this particular case, a woman was going from her home into the parking lot to her car. She lived in a condo development. And now, as she's approaching her car, she doesn't realize it, but there's a whole patch of black ice. It looks just like regular black asphalt. So what happens? As she's approaching her car, she winds up slipping, falling, and suffering a massive femur fracture, which is the biggest bone in your body. That's the bone that connects the hip to your knee. And as a result of that, she now had to go to the hospital by ambulance. She now needed corrective surgery with internal hardware known as an open reduction internal fixation to hold the bones in place surgically, and now had to be in the hospital, undergo rehabilitative care and recuperation. What was interesting was when she brought a lawsuit against the property owner turned around and said, "Hey, don't blame me. This patient didn't see where she was going. She wasn't looking where she was going. She is responsible for her own injuries." Now, I will tell you, in these slip and fall cases, one of the things that I look for is to determine whether or not the person who was injured was in fact partially responsible. What kind of shoes were they wearing? What type of eyeglasses did they wear? Did they have a hearing problem? Had they been at that location before? And all of these are critical to understand whether or not they were familiar with the area and whether or not they may have contributed to their own injury or accident. This injured victim had nothing whatsoever to do with causing or contributing to her own injuries. In fact, what was amazing was that only a day or two earlier, there was a massive snowstorm in this area. And now, when they cleared out the snow, they piled all the snow at the top of the hill of this parking lot. The next day, it was warmer weather and the snow started to melt. And as a result of the melt, you now had water runoff. And then at night, what happened? It wound up freezing. So now in the morning, when this person goes from her home to her car through the parking lot, she doesn't realize that all of this ice melt now is creating a patch of black ice. What the property owner failed to do was failed to go out and properly put the snow in the correct position. So not at the top of the hill, but rather at the bottom of the hill. So knowing that it's likely going to melt in warmer weathers, you don't have this freezing effect afterwards, creating black ice. So that's where this property owner went wrong. And in addition, the property owner failed to salt and sand this parking lot after they had done the snow plowing. And as a result of that, my client was able to obtain compensation for the harms and losses she suffered because of the property owner's carelessness. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding to what went on in a slip and fall case on black ice here during one winter in New York. And if that's happened to you here in New York and you do have legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. This is something I do every single day and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's quick video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.